Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on WDBJ 7 Plus. I'm Michaela Shelton, joined by Tanisha Jackson. Hey, girl, how are you doing?
Hello, doing well. Excited for our big day today.
Yes, today is a big day because we are celebrating Black History Month with a special. It's called Voices of Virginia. It is airing tonight at 5:30 on WDBJ 7 and then again at 6:30 on WZBJ 24, and then we're going to have an extended version right here on WDBJ 7 Plus. So it's an exciting day. We have been working on this special for probably about a month, the whole month of February, and it's really been a team effort. You know, we've had our reporters come in, producers and directors to make this project happen. And we've got a lot happening. We've got a lot going on in the special. We've got stories from our reporters, stories that you worked on, that I put together. And yeah, so we want to do a little preview on here today to let people know what to expect. And Tanisha, I know you did a story on Lynchburg and the history of slavery there. And you know, being from that area, I was even shocked by your story and what you uncovered about the history. So just talk a little bit about, you know, why you wanted to research that topic.
Yeah, so I did a story for our first Black History Month 3 years ago about a slave dwelling that was in, I believe, Bedford or the Lynchburg area. And so that kind of had me thinking this year kind of how slavery was born into Virginia, what, you know, kind of roots and history does that entail? And in my research, I saw that Lynchburg was actually one of the biggest markets for slavery, auctioning off slaves and selling them west of Richmond. So once I saw that, I was like, this is a story we need to showcase during our special. So I talked to the Lynchburg Museum System about it. They have a great historical information about slavery there. And then Silent Witnesses is a more newer project in Lynchburg organization that got started, I think, a couple of years ago. And they are really diving into researching about slavery and the roots in Lynchburg.
Right, yeah, and we actually have a little preview here that I want to show for people. So let me get that going.
It was also per capita, it had the most enslaved people of any large city in Virginia before the Civil War. And it's really because of its connection by river to Richmond.
Yeah, so I mean, that just tells you right there, slavery was a big deal back then in this area, and it's just really eye-opening to hear that, especially, you know, coming from experts and researchers and things like that. So yeah, definitely a great story. I was really impressed by it, and people will be able to see the full version later this evening. We also have a story by our reporter, Kyra Willis. She went in and did some investigating into discrimination in healthcare. This was also in Lynchburg. You know, we've got stories all over our hometowns, but she went out to Lynchburg and spoke to two doctors, two Black doctors who have faced discrimination in the healthcare industry. You know, I know sometimes you think about patients as well who have faced discrimination and racism when, you know, going in for care, but it's also the workers and the doctors and employees that face it, which, you know, I thought was really special to showcase just what they go through as well. So we do have a preview of that too.
Going through my own sickness and feeling what I felt as a patient, not being heard or seen, feeling like I was alone. I feel like I want to be the doctor that reaches that patient that feels that same way that I felt.
Yeah, and she put in a lot of work with that. You know, as reporters, we still have to do stories every day, but, you know, she really went out of her way to cover that and showcase some of the challenges, but also the inspiring part about what they do as well. You know, trying to, I think I remember hearing in her package, one of the doctors faced discrimination one time when she was a patient, but then went on to become a doctor and then be there for people like her as well.
Yeah, and the other doctor she talked to, he realizes the medical disparities, the discrimination that is within the healthcare system. And so as a doctor, now he teaches his interns and upcoming medical students kind of about what to look for when it comes to people of color and kind of how to really listen to them when they are expressing concerns, because more than likely when a black patient or any person of color goes to a doctor and they say, I have these concerns, sometimes they are dismissed and it ends up being something really serious going on with their health.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so definitely an important story there that I'm really looking forward to people seeing. We also, on a lighter note, we took a look at a black business, a restaurant out in Roanoke. I'm sure everyone watching has seen Logan Sherrill's Hometown Eats, but he actually did a version for Black History Month, and we have some video to show you here. He went out to Dylan's Hot Dogs and More. This is on Williamson Road out in Roanoke, and just look at what we're seeing here. If you weren't hungry, if you haven't eaten lunch, I'm sure you're hungry now.
Listen, I went there after I saw this
Really?
Hometown Eats, and I got to tell you, it's good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. I need to head out there myself. But, I mean, just look at that. And, the special also touches on some of the challenges that the owner saw when trying to start this business. It was kind of during COVID, but he just kept going and put faith into it as well. And he's still here and serving up delicious food, as Tanisha can attest to that. So, yeah, definitely want to tune in to watch that. We also took a look at Barbara John's story. I'm sure many have heard that name before. Joe DeShiel looked into her story. She's a historic figure that led a student walkout out in Farmville.
Yeah.
When she was 16 years old, and it kind of led to some rulings in Brown versus Board of Education, and so we also have a preview of that for you.
Barbara led the students on what would eventually kind of be ground zero for our student-led civil rights movement.
Yeah, and there she is there. That was back in 1951, and she still lives on today. She's got statues, places, and there's a museum kind of dedicated to that school walkout that he touches on. So just a lot of good stuff in that package. He really goes into detail on her life and, what that walkout led to and the changes and the impacts it has today. So really excited to see that one later this evening. And then I also did a story as well. I went down to Danville, had to go back to my roots, and I did a story with Andrea Burney, who I actually met when I was reporting out in Danville one day, and I heard someone mention that she was the first reporter for the Danville Register and Bee, and I was like, oh my goodness, that sounds like an amazing story and would be perfect for Black History Month. So I reached back out to her last month, and I asked if she would be interested in sitting down and talking to me about her time and what it was like being the first Black reporter there, and also as a woman, what that was like. And she is just amazing. Like, she is just so sharp, and even at her age can recall everything. And so the story, it just really does showcase the challenges she faced, but also the grace in which she had throughout her time there and what she continues to do today. Like, she is still, even in retirement, she has created a documentary this year about there's an area in Danville that has a lot of Black history that she and a colleague put together. So here is a little preview of her story.
I wanted to tell the stories of those who sometimes were overlooked and maybe not know who to contact or how to get publicity.
And yeah, so this is a shot of one of her newspaper articles, and that's her as a young girl. So yeah, that was so fun and inspiring to put together and to talk to her, just about what she faced. She got to the newspaper, the Register and Bee, when she first started, and she asked the janitor, she was like, so how many other black people are here? And the janitor just looked at her and laughed and was like, it's just you and me. So that, it just tells you a little bit about, you know, what, because she went away to a bigger city and then came back, and it was a shock for her, but she's come a long way and she's still doing good work. And so, yeah, I'm just really excited. We've also got some more things, though. You know, those are some previews of our reporters and anchors pieces. But we also, I know you sat down with some fraternities and sororities and talked about that history as well.
Yeah, Kappa Alpha Psi and Delta Sigma Theta both joined me here in the studio to talk about the Divine Nine. You know, those are the 9 black sororities and fraternities that were founded, I think, in the early 1800s or 1900s. But yeah, it was just really cool to hear how their founders, you know, came up with these organizations, what they continue to do for our communities. I spoke with the Roanoke alumni chapter, so just to see their perspective now being out of college, but still doing work in our community, doing community service, mental health stuff, things with kids, and hosting like relays to raise funds for the youth. And so it's really incredible to see not only why those sororities and fraternities were founded, but how impactful it really is for, you know, so many people. And a lot of them started at HBCUs. Some of them didn't start at HBCUs, but they have definitely expanded to other universities and colleges around our country.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing to see. And it's just really eye-opening to hear from them as well. And we also spoke with a local poet. She came on and had a reading. And, you know, we also just dive into some other historical figures who you've definitely heard of, Martin Luther King, and some others, you know, who have ties to our area.
Yeah.
And so there's just a lot there, and we are really looking forward to it. Again, if you want to watch this, it's going to be on WDBJ 7 at 5:30 tonight, and then again on WZBJ 24 at 6:30, and then the extended version with extra stories and just extra goodies that you do not want to miss out on will be on WDBJ 7 Plus. It's going to stream live at 7 o'clock tonight, but if you miss that, it will be on our website and on WDBJ 7 Plus forever. It's on demand. You can watch it whenever you'd like. But for now, we kind of want to pivot and just talk about some local events that are going to be happening around our hometowns relating to Black History Month. And so up first, we've got Hands Making Light. This is Edith Younger Edmonds' event that she is hosting. I don't know, you might remember, but I've done a couple stories on her before. She makes quilts that are representative of the codes that slaves used during the Underground Railroad. And so those codes, they have hidden meanings behind them. And so at this event, this is happening in Charlotte, North Carolina. I know it's a little far, but she's from the Halifax County area. And so she is going down there. She does events all over, but this one, you know, is taking place during Black History Month, so I did want to highlight that. It is a free event, and then there's a QR code there on your screen. You can also look it up to register for the event, and that's happening on Saturday from 2 to 5. That's at 9189 Studio Gallery in Charlotte. So yeah, definitely go show her some love. And she's also got her own website with pictures, and she created a book as well. So that will be an exhibit there where she'll be talking and having a book signing and reception. Also happening, we've got, let's see, the Creators Market. It's a Black Love Social that's happening Saturday as well, and it's hosted by The Collective and Not Your Average Everything. And this is a special edition of the Creators Market. It's a celebration of Black businesses and love, and that, let's see, that's taking place at 601 11th Street Northwest. That'll be from 11 to 3 on Saturday. And that's just they're gonna have a lot of small Black businesses there. It's a social event. They're going to have music, community, conversation, and yeah, just a bunch of good stuff there. And then let's see. Looks like the third one I wanted to show isn't popping up for us, but I'll just go ahead and talk about it. There's going to be a One Community, One Voice Black History program that's taking place at EC Glass High School. That is also free admission. That's taking place on Saturday as well at 1 o'clock. And we're actually going to have them on the Saturday morning show. If you watch that, we're going to do a live interview with them. And yeah, so lots going on for Black History Month around our communities and our hometowns. It's great to see. And yeah, just love all the celebrations that we have going on. And don't forget, make sure to tune in to our Black History Month special tonight. Again, that's on WDBJ 7 at 5:30, WZBJ 24 at 6:30, and then the full extended one here on WDBJ 7 Plus. So, yeah, Tanisha, you have anything else you want to add? I know I've said a lot, but
Yeah, I would say as far as the events, just make sure if you're able to go out, show some love to Black-owned businesses. You know, they work hard to, you know, sell what they have, and you know, we always want to support each other locally. And then yeah, as far as our special, just we hope y'all learn something new, maybe are reminded of something. I would just say maybe keep an open mind about everything that, you know, will be in the special, and just, you know, share that information with your family. Maybe sit around your couch and watch, you know, the special with your family, because I think it's really going to be beneficial for, you know, the young generation and even older people that may not know a lot about the history of African Americans in our hometowns.
right, yeah, exactly. It is really for everyone. You
Yeah.
know, all ethnicities, all ages can really get something out of this. I think it's so important to recognize, you know, everyone's history and struggles and accomplishments as well. That way you can teach future generations to be accepting and inclusive of everyone. So yeah, awesome. Well, thank you all so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope you tune in to our special tonight. We'll see you next time.